Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradha Jaya Gopijana. Can you hear me? Harwal?
Yes, Maharaj, loud and clear.
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradha Yashodanandana Vrajajana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Jaya Radha 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 Sri Radhe Radha 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 Sri Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 You have to make me co-host. Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well,
please accept Amala Biswa, Glory to Prabhupada. Welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining
Hare
us.
Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj, welcome. Today's topic is how to control anger. Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you.
The fan sound is too high. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, we can hear you loud and clear.
Previously it was not clear.
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you.
No, before it was before.
It was slightly soft. It's a bit louder now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you have to make a co-host so that I can give the PowerPoint presentation of how to control anger.
Okay, okay.
You have to do the co-host, then only I can share. I can go to that. You're done?
Yes, Maharaj.
You did co-host?
Sorry, Maharaj, you want to share screen?
Sorry?
You may start, Maharaj, with the talk.
Okay. Can you see the chart?
You can share screen. You have share screen.
It is on the screen. Can you see it?
Not as yet, Maharaj.
You have to co-host me, then only it will come. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, yes, you have permission to share screen, Maharaj.
Sorry?
You have to share screen. You click share screen on the button there.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, yes,
screen?
Maharaj, it's sharing now. It's sharing. Thank you.
Okay.
I can see it.
Is it clear now?
Yes, Maharaj, it's clear. Pankashim
Okay.
Prabhu, is it clear on your side? Radhika Raman Prabhu, is it clear on your side?
Yes, Prabhu. It's all clear, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maharaj. It's all clear.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Om
Krishna.
Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sriguravaram Srigurum Vaishnavada Srirupam Sadhagatam Bhajanaragunam Advaitam Samadhitam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome to the session. Today we'll discuss how to control the anger. As you see, the anger, just one sort of one alphabet, it is danger. If you add the one D, it's anger, it becomes danger. The person who always gets anger is always in danger of getting heart attack and so many things. He will lose all the friends also. But what is the anger? It says that it's natural emotion that every human being and animal experience. It may include displeasures, irritation, or dislike. When we react to something, we may become angry. To the Christendom, we become angry. I become very happy when some appreciates us. In a full-blown stage of the anger, our judgment and thinking become impaired, and we are likely to do very unreasonable and irrational things. Because as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Krodad bhavati sammoha, sammoha sruti vibhrama, sruti vibhramchad buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. So if the anger is that danger, so it is a frustrating, displeasure. So why do we get angry? What is the cause behind it? Lord Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita, when our attempt to enjoy or gratify senses is senses frustrated, endangered, we become very angry. We want to enjoy something, but there's some obstacle, impediment, we become unhappy, anger. Also, sometimes our efforts are not successful, then become frustrated. It is expression of anger in a small fashion, but it is anger, the beginning of the anger. We get angry when we are being treated unjustly, being treated rudely, when we are insulted, frustrated in pursuing an important goal, but we cannot successful, when you are being neglected. In all these cases, either we feel frustrated or anger, disappointed. The attempt to control is the basis of most of emotional upsets. Human nature. We want to control the other people. We want that what they should do, what I want to do. And because of when they don't do, we get displeasure, then we get angry. When we insist, demand or command that things should happen our way, then they don't. It breeds anger and resentment. Lord Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Dhyato Vishyan Pumsa Sangaste Supajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Vijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops. And when our desires, lust, not fulfilled, fail, then the anger develops. And Krishna further says that from the anger, complete delusion arises. Krodha, sammoha. Sammoha sruti vibhrama, from delusion, bewilderment of the memory. Sruti bhramshad buddhi nasho, when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. Buddhi nashad pranashyati. When our intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. No matter how he elevated, but when he gets angry, he won't be able to control his senses. It becomes cause of his fall down. That's why Lord Krishna says that in the very beginning, curve this great symbol of sin, lust. by regulating the senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. In the Bhagavatam, 4th canto, they say that a person who desires liberation from this material world should not fall under the control of anger, because when bewildered by anger, one becomes a source of dread for all others. The same is spoken by Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 13th verse also. A devotee should not become a fearful for others. One should not become cause of the fear to others. When he becomes a cause of the fear, he himself is subject to the anger, and his fall down is very nearby. A devotee or saintly person should not be dreadful to others, nor anyone be a source of dread to him. Demonic are always present, and they find fault even in the saintly person. But a saintly person never becomes angry. It's like Lord Jesus Christ and Haridas Thakur also. So when one should not be dreadful to others, nor anyone source of dread to him. If we have some desire for honor and respect, we expect from them. Yes, if we do not, then we get anger and disappointment. So we should not become a cause of the fear for others also. Generally, the way we act depends on how we feel about a particular situation. There are certain suggestions steps given by the psychologist. Recognize that you are angry. Identify the source. First, we have to accept that anger, not general. Oh, I am not angry. I am just telling you that it is wrong. But I am not angry. He doesn't want to accept that anger. But in this case, psychology specialists advise that you accept that you are angry. Then also we have to find out what is causing me this anger. The source of anger we have to find out. Understand why we are angry by doing an analysis. Once we identify the source, then we have to see why, what is causing me to become angry. Deal with the situation realistically. Anger is very dangerous because the more we get anger, more we get subject to the frustration, which are not a good. Getting angry prevents a person from solving the problems. Sometimes people think that I am angry, people are afraid, they won't do these things, but not solving the problem at all. Why? Because at the time, out of fear, they may not be, but they will do again when you are not present. So that is not a solution of the problem. Getting angry, and anger is not a solution to frustration, reaction to the frustration. It means first you get frustrated, then the result of the frustration is that you anger. Anger makes a person physically sick and mentally weak. Because, as Krishna said, Krodha bhavata sammoha, sammoha shrita. When you are getting too much angry, you are capable to intelligently think, goes out. You won't be able to properly think it. Anger is the greatest single factor or cause for the break in human relationships. The friends or family or any relationship. It can be easily become cause of the breakup. Lord Sri Krishna says anger is the gateway to hell. Trividham narakasvedam dvaram nashanam atmanha kama krodhas tadha lobhas tasmadetat trayam tadeh. Lord Krishna advises one should. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, greed, anger. Every sane person should give up these because they lead to the degradation of the soul. When one tries to satisfy the lust and when he cannot, then anger and greed arise. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the spaces of demonic life must try to give up these three enemies. As Lord Krishna says, lust, greed, and anger, which can kill the self to the extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. If you don't deal with this anger firmly and positively, it will increase and it will gradually destroy our inner self itself. We lose our individuality, individual personality. The person who holds to anger and resentment is, without his knowing it, causing damage to himself from within. It causes damage spiritually and materially also. Materially becomes subject to the blood pressure and heart failure and so many things it is. And spiritually loses intelligence. He cannot become a good devotee if he gets anger again and again and again. There should be cause for the anger. One may get anger, but as Prabhupada says, one cannot be devoid of the anger. Anger should be for the good purpose. A father may get angry for the child for his better future. A spiritual master may chastise, get angry with the disciple for his future of the good future of the disciple. But not that one should get angry now and then for nothing. That is it's not proper for both. It becomes a cause of fear to the subordinate and destroys the inner self of the person who is subject to anger again and again. What are the effects of anger? It is said that it creates the poison in our system, destroying our body, mind, and consciousness. Mind is get agitated, destroyed, body becomes subject to so many medical conditions, and consciousness is also spoiled. If the anger and hatred keep brewing in our system and remains in the background, and it is very difficult to maintain good consciousness, forget about Krishna consciousness. Practically, we can see if somebody becomes angry for nothing, no other devotee would like to associate with him. Everybody like to keep him away from him. So, and it will also hurt his self. It cannot help his further development of the consciousness. So it is not anger, getting anger is not at all. Bhagavad Gita, Lord advises Arjuna to get free from anger, greed and lust in order to raise to the spiritual platform. A person who is always subject to anger never can rest himself to the spiritual platform. The 26 qualities of the devotees and also 16 qualities as mentioned by Krishna in the 16th chapter, just 1 to 3. And the qualities of the devotee which please Krishna as spoken by Krishna in 12th chapter 13 to 19. You can find nowhere, no mention of by Krishna about that a divine personality or a devotee have the anger. To have the anger, it is the demonic. The story of Shamantaka Jewel also we can read it there how anger destroys the good name of Satrajit. How to overcome the anger then? His method is given the ABC analysis. There is a procedure to take personal inventory of anger. One has to check himself. One has to see why I'm getting angry. Is it genuine? A stands for the activating agent, means what is causing anger. B stands for the belief systems. C stands for the emotional consequences or feeling that a person has with regard to the situation. After the ABC analysis is the CB. What is that? CB means consequential behavior. The way one act or behave as a result of emotional feeling, that is consequential. What is the, because emotional feeling when we get angry, what is our behavior? Is it pleasing to others? Activating. The example is given. Suppose your friend criticizes you for coming to the temple. You believe that your friend should not have criticized you. You think that ourselves is a friend, you should not have criticized me. Then emotional consequences for that you feel very hurt because your friend criticized you for having gone to the temple. As a result, your behavior will be, you will shout back and get angry at him. Oh, who are you to criticize me like that? Shout back at him. There are three ways. One is the expression. When you express your anger, it gives some relief. But the relief is temporary, not permanent. Resentments again build up. And you are ready for another spill out. So one has to eliminate the cause of the anger, not temporarily getting angry and saying that everything is okay. What causing one to be angry, that cause has to be eliminated. Gradually, anger becomes a habit. At times when you become slave of the anger, suppression drives anger and resentment to subconsciousness. Suppose you are angry, but you don't want to express, just to suppress. But it goes into deeper and it gives the resentment and subconsciously. You don't understand, but it's there. When the time comes, it will explode like a bomb. It may develop into complex and affect our entire behavior and attitude towards life. Some people want to suppress the anger forcibly, not eliminating the cause of the anger. They want to suppress so that it should be seen as a good for individual. Right way? Burn anger before it burns you. And your happiness and peace. Anger burns yourself and you lose your happiness and peace also. How? Forgive it. One of the best remedy for the getting out of the anger is to forgive someone. A weak personality, a coward, cannot forgive the strong personality. A devotee who got the strong spiritual understanding only can forgive other people. The right way is the way of forgiveness, of patience and forbearance. You can see Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur. You can learn from their pastimes how they are kind enough, they will forgive even those who wanted to hurt them. Srila Prabhupada explains that to get freedom from anger, one should learn how to forgive. The Bhagavatam, first canto, 9th chapter, text 27, is the prayer offered by Lord Bhishma to Lord Krishna. Bhishma is passing away. To burn the anger, we must develop the quality of tolerance and forgiveness. This is one of the most important quality of a devotee. This is Chakaruni Kaha, Rudasara Bhutanam. So this is Icha, tolerance, and Karnuka, be compassionate towards others. When you don't have the compassionate, become cruel and get angry. Demonic, it doesn't belong to the divine qualities of the devotees. To burn the anger, we must develop the quality of tolerance. Prabhupada stresses on this. And one should have to learn how to forgive the offender. Krodha means anger. It is also an urge. Suppose I am insulted by someone, naturally, I will be angry. It is natural. But I can control it, my anger. All right. He is a foolish. He had done. Why shall I lose my temper? That is called controlling Krodha Vegam. If somebody criticizes me, I don't pay any attention to it. Means I don't accept it. In the gone days, used to be letters writing, postal letters. If you drop a letter to some of your friend or relative, and don't affix the postal stamp on that one, postage, and it goes to the addressee, but the addressee has to pay the money for, because you have not put the stamp on that one. But if the addressee refuses to receive that letter, it will be returned back to you and you have to pay the double cost. In the same way, somebody gets anger, somebody criticizes us. If you don't react, then it means you are not accepting. It goes back to him. But when we react and get anger and reply, then means I accepted it. So one should learn that he is a fool. So if he has criticism, I don't accept it. Why should I lose my temper? Let him bark. As the elephant goes, dogs keep on barking. It doesn't affect the elephant. So I am being a devotee. I don't have to lose my patience and let them criticize. They will stop criticizing. They will get tired of it. So in that way, one should control the anger, the krodha vegam, vacha vegam, manasa vegam, jiva vegam, the ropastha vegam. In the next of instruction, Rupa Goswami said that the one who can control these vegas, urges, is qualified to become a spiritual master, a devotee, pure devotee. In the devotional life also, to raise ourselves to the pure devotee, one should be free of the krodha. In the devotional life, there is no place for the krodha. So, of course, sometimes the spiritual master gets angry with the disciple. It is for his correction, not for the punishment or this cause him distress. To correct that you have to show, tell him that you have done something which is not pleasing to Krishna. It is also tapasya in connection with the both of them. Why it is tapasya, austerity? Because it's not easy to control the anger. When Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with the Yakshas to take the revenge for having killed his brother Uttama by the Yakshas, he killed thousands of Yakshas out of anger. Then Swayambhu Manna appears there, says, my dear son, you are a great devotee. How you become controlled by the anger? One Yaksha killed your brother. In return, you killed thousands of Yakshas. Can you justify it? Is it proper for a pure devotee like you? Think it. And Rama thought, gave a thought to the words of his grandfather, Sambhumanu, immediately controlled his anger. Because he is controlled, which is the anger, which is very difficult to control, and became peaceful, forgiven all the Yakshas. The king of Yakshas, Kubera, appeared and blessed him. Means if one is able to control the anger, it is very difficult to control. But if we are capable of controlling anger with the proper thinking, then our superiors will also become happy. Want to express anger by beating someone or doing something very violent. But tapasya says, no, I should not react like that one. So tapasya will restrict him. No, I don't do it. He's a foolish person, he did so. Why should I also act like foolishly? I am a devotee, I should have the tolerance. I should not immediately retaliate it. So he thinks that no, I should not do it. I don't do it. And our efforts are being frustrated and we are being treated wrongly. We should take into account the law of karma. One of the important factors, the devotees. Sometimes we say that why it is happening to me? So it is karma, maybe. The previous life I did some karma, now enjoying, but out of causeless mercy of Radha and Krishna, the intensity of karma which I was supposed to undergo the result is very minimized. The Radha and Krishna give the only that much reaction to the devotees which they can tolerate. So devotee understand that we should then say that is law of karma and tolerates it. Therefore, Krishna instructs, you have a right to perform prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruit of action. Shubha Shubha Palei Raivang Machase Karma Bandhanat. You want to enjoy the result of your activities, then you are subject to the bondage. Therefore, Krishna says that you can do the activity, you can perform the right prescribed duty, but you not entitled to enjoy the fruits of action. You should give it to the Lord. Quality of saintly person, I have spoken. A saintly person should not be dreadful to others, nor should anyone be a source of dread to him. If one treats others with non-enmity, it is spoken by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter also. Also, Srimad Shankaracharya, the incarnation Lord Shiva also says this. No one will become his enemy. There is an example of Jesus Christ, who had enemies, and they crucified him. But Jesus said, when he was being crucified, said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they are doing. That is a forgiveness. So Haridas Thakur he was also beaten 22 marketplace. But all the way they were beating soldiers. But he was praying Lord Krishna to forgive them. Haridas Thakur also forgave Ramchandra Khan, who sent a prostitute to defame him. But in turn, the prostitute became a pure surrendered devotee of Haridas Thakur. Pure devotees of the Lord are saintly persons, have the quality of forgiveness. And this forgiveness is the ornament for the devotees. It said that demonic mentality people are always present. They find fault in saintly persons. But a saintly person never becomes angry. Even if there is a great provocation, controls his anger. Tapasya in every way, in the body, mind, and words, personal behavior, and dealings with others. So a person, human life means one should have tapasya, tolerance, compassion. Rishabdev Maharaj said, Tapodiyam putrake na sattam. If you want to simplify, simply be a human being. And especially if you want to make progress in spiritual life, one should act according to the Shastric injunction and have the tolerance, forgiveness. Right possible? When provocation comes, we are not able to remember all these wonderful instructions. We act instantly, compelled by our natures, naturally. At the time of the incidents, we may not be remembering all these instructions. But when we remember later on, we can go to that person and apologize or beg for the forgiveness. There is nothing wrong. That's why in our prayers every day, we always pray the Vaishnavas to forgive us. Panchakalpatarubhyasta, Prabhasindhubhyevata patitanam pavani. But if you know that I committed an offense against the lotus feet of the devotee, one should go to that devotee and ask for the forgiveness. Doesn't matter whether one is senior or junior, doesn't matter. It's a devotee. This keeps the heart and mind clean and consciousness pure to help us develop in the devotional life. Prabhupada also explains in the Bhagavatam 4th canto, 20th chapter, if there is any discrepancy, a devotee forgives. It is said that forgiveness is the quality of those who are advancing the spiritual knowledge. This is a test for every one of us. Chama rupam tapasvinaha. Especially those who are following the penance and austerities and the yogic principle of devotional service. They should learn to forgive, should chama. In the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, 2nd chapter, said that in our dealings, there are so many faulty dealings between ourselves. So if we take everything very seriously, then our life becomes very difficult to live. Because the blasphemy we cast against, the blasphemy was cast against Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He did not feel sorry. And therefore he was smiling. This is the ideal Vaishnava behavior. One should appreciate if somebody criticizes us a blasphemy. Oh, I could not see my fault, but that person has seen my fault. Thanks for pointing out my fault so that I can correct myself. That should be the way a Vaishnava, a devotee should feel. The ideal Vaishnava, one should not become angry upon hearing how dare you criticize me. When should we get angry? Is it possible to not be angry? Aristotle says, anyone become angry, that's easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, in the right way. But it's not so easy. He also says there is a type of anger which is known as the righteous anger. When it is my duty to be angry and I become angry, that is righteous anger. Example is, a teacher has to sometimes be angry with the student for the good of the student, so that he can study well and progress in his life for the good cause and good, that limited amount of anger. He may express anger, but internally with heart he loves his students. As the father loves the students, but loves his children and externally shows anger to correct the sons. In the same way, teacher also loves the students, but externally shows anger for the betterment of the students. An employee has to sometimes become angry with the employee for the good of the organization. This is a righteous anger. Prabhupada explains, we have anger. That anger can be a great quality when directed against a person who is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee. One should not be tolerant when a person offends you to Vishnu or Vaishnava. The anger of Sati towards her father was not objectionable, because although he was her father, was trying to insult the greatest Vaishnava Lord Shiva. Thus Sati's anger against father was quite applauded with a righteous anger. Why Lord exhibited his anger? The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insult to one's own self. A pure devotee blasphemes. A genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like a fire, like the offenders. When Ravana tried to blaspheme Lord Sri Ram, Hanuman, a pure devotee of Lord Sri Ram, burned the Lanka. Krodha means anger, cannot be stopped, but it can be applied. Rightly, it was in anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka. But he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramachandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the service of the Lord in the right way. Arjuna was not willing to fight, but Krishna incited his anger to fight for the right cause. Lord said, you must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in the service of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Liberated devotees often apply so-called vices in devotional service, and we can learn the art from them. So now it is time. Few more slides are there, but already time is already 20 past something. So it is the time. It is already approaching 3 o'clock there in South Africa.
So, no, Maharaj, you're welcome to continue. Please, you can continue with the slides. We welcome you.
Okay.
We're eager to listen. Thank you, Maharaj. And Maharaj, we also welcome His Grace Sundar Nityananda Das. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, thank you for joining us. In fact, the Prabhu gave us the topic. We're very grateful.
5-10 minutes more, I'll take it.
Okay, we'll wait for 5
Lord
minutes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes angry against the guy and mother when they offended Chaitanya. Nityananda Prabhu. Because that angry, because Lord, if they shown disrespect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord could have been tolerant, but when it is shown against the pure devotee, Lord could not tolerate. Shown his anger, the properly righteous anger. It's not possible to stop the anger completely. One has an inherent quality. Nor can we generalize that if a person is becoming angry, he is not saintly. Prabhupada says that to try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will be naturally controlled. That is very important. Instruction of Lord Srila Prabhupada also. If our mind always constantly think how I can serve Krishna and Krishna's service. The mode of service means we accept the subordination. Then there's no question of getting angry. A devotee never sees others. As Prahlad Maharaj says that we feel some anger against someone or because we think differently as enemy something because of our uncontrolled senses. As in the devotional life, we have to control our senses. But a devotee is called Ajata Shatru. There is no enemy. When you have no enemy, why one should get angry? When you think of Krishna all the time, our mind naturally gets angry. So that ends. So in a nutshell, to control the anger is that, as Srila Prabhupada says, that one should learn the habit of tolerance. Austerity will help us to control the anger. And also we must learn the habit of the forgiveness. Only a person who is spiritual advanced can forgive others. A strong person can forgive others, not a weak person. So in order to come to this level of tolerance and compassionate towards other living entities, one should always think of Krishna. Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lavanya. So Krishna's name is found in wonderful adventure activities. And what is the essence? What is the meaning of those Krishna's every activity? One should try to understand the philosophical tattva. As Krishna said, Janma karma cha me devyam evam tattva. One should understand Krishna's pastime in tattva, philosophically, in truth. And that understanding philosophically is possible only by the devotional service, not by any bhaktya mam abhijanat yavan nistasme tattva tato man tattva jnatva. So when you understand Krishna in truth philosophically, that happens when you constantly think of Krishna, contemplate on the wonderful activity of Krishna, then we learn it. The anger is one of the biggest anartha, demon in our heart. The devotional service, the one who gets anger never can progress in the devotional life. Not possible. So one should control it. We stop here. If anyone got any questions, you are welcome to ask.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. I loved your presentation. It was so nice and colorful and effective. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
I hope speech was okay.
Yeah, very clear and very colorful. Your presentation was very neatly done. Thank you so much. Yeah. Maharaj, we request His Grace Sundar Nityananda Das to say a few words. The Prabhu gave us the topic for today. Prabhu, we welcome you. You can please unmute yourself, Prabhu.
Sundar Nityananda Prabhu, how are you?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, accept
I
my
saw you
humble
after a long
obeisances.
time, huh?
Unto your lotus feet, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories. By your
How is
blessings,
Vrindavan? Cold?
So cold, Maharaj. It's too cold.
I can see.
It's
I can see
even
you.
also raining and also snowing. It's too cold. More or less always 7 degree, 8 degrees. And the morning time,
I was
5
planning
degrees.
to come to Vrindavan, but because of cold, I couldn't dare.
Yes, it's so cold. So Maharaj, we not to get your association long time. Yesterday, Mahatma Prabhu came and he gave a seminar on the topic of how to keep attention in our japa. It's an excellent presentation. And we are invited to Giriraj Maharaj on the 28th. He will come to give the presentation. I will see February. I will just to need your blessings that you come to our Zoom and give the class. Devotees are very eager to hear from you.
I'm always at your service whenever you can tell me.
No. And also we requested to Loknath Maharaj, but Mataji spoke to me and we had decided, but in between the Maharaj was little bit in COVID. That's why we stopped it.
Maharaj health is
Yes,
not
it's
so
not.
well.
Yes, we are already, Maharaj said that he will come to January, but in between Maharaj was not okay. A nice presentation, Maharaj. I saw that your all the excellent that videos and all the nice things. It is very, actually I chose this topic because Prabhuji said you choosing for the topic for Maharaj. I said it is very nowadays very difficult to controlling our anger. If Maharaj will speak for us how to controlling the anger. So you are nicely to presenting your with your slideshow that how we should not to keep the our anger, whether we should try to nourishing our the simplicity mood and the sympathetic mood, we should tolerant mood. That is very important for our spiritual life. But Maharaj, I have one question. Sometimes the devotees ask, so we are feeling. Yes, we know that we hearing from different scriptures, different lecturers, Maharajas, that we have to controlling our anger. But when situation is coming, we can't. We forgot it. So what should we do that we should do during that time? We know, just like you gave the class, we presentation, everything we understand. We are convinced, we are totally the 100% right, everything okay. But after sometimes something the situation is creating, we can't control. We started shouting or fighting this and that we do.
It doesn't happen.
Sorry?
What if it looked like I lost you? Okay. So what if sometimes, we have to, if you go a little, think ourselves. The main cause of anger is our false ego.
Yes.
Somewhere deep, though external, we may not show our ego, but that ego is there. When somebody talks, it feels our ego is hurted. Even the devotee also, we expect something somebody to, as in the beginning said, the desire to control that becomes the cause of our anger. We expect the people that it is a multilingual society. We cannot, even with one family, all the people may not have the same thought. So we have to understand and accept the different natures of different devotees in our associating with us. So it is not possible to have the same thinking, but understand it, that different people are there, different thoughts and different level of understanding and opinions. When we accept the different thoughts and different opinions, and if when somebody says something, we have to see that we are not hurted. It's not easy to, but practically it happens. But we have to see that cause of, mostly I feel the cause of our anger is our false ego itself. Oh, I am such a silly devotee. How this person can talk to me like that? But if you have the feeling that, yes, I'm a senior devotee, and because I'm a senior devotee, I should be more humbler. If that person talks to me in this way, fine. It's telling me that I have to learn something more. It may not be easy to understand, but if it give a thought, we can learn it. A person who, because he's a devotee, he will criticize, he talks in a nonsense way. But when he don't react at the same time, he will realize it. Then after that, certainly I'm sure he will come back and ask for the forgiveness. But when we react immediately, he will not ask. And if you read the Leelamrita, I think, or the room conversation, it is there. Prabhupada, when he went to the Melbourne first time, he used to talk with all the devotees who returned in the evening after coming back from Sankirtana. One of the devotees said, Prabhupada, I was standing on a main crossing road, distributing the books. One gentleman in the tie and suit came. He showed me. I asked him, sir, it is Bhagavad Gita, very nice book, take one. He looked at me and said, shame on you, you are a Christian. You are distributing these books? He shouted at me, spit on my face. And Prabhupada said, what did you do? Prabhupada didn't say anything, I kept it. Prabhupada said, very good. Because he said there's a gentleman, and just after gone, he definitely think what he has done is wrong. And he will come and ask for the forgiveness. But if he reacted, he shouted him back, then he never would hurt himself. So same thing happened. That day, the devotee came evening and said, Prabhupada, as you said, I was standing at the same place again. The same gentleman came to approach me, said, I'm sorry, I should not have done so. He realized it. Because the devotee had the tolerance. He understood that I'm not a big devotee, but when you think that I'm a very big devotee, I am a Krishna conscious person, these people are nothing, how can they behave? Then we are false ego, we get disappointed. So sometimes, though it is a difficult situation, but if you learn to tolerate and forgive, and Prabhupada says it will help us. We all are subject to the material condition, but you have to try to learn it. The Sarupa Goswami gives the first verse itself, Vacho Vegam Mansa Krodha Vegam. It's very difficult to control all these 6 objects, but if we try to control, one day we will become successful by the mercy of spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes. So I can get the conclusion to your, all the speech that it is we need to understanding and same time we should practicing the tolerance.
Yeah.
Then one day we can reach on that level. Thank you, Maharaj. Such a nice.
Prabhu, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sundar Nityananda Prabhu. Maharaj,
I
we
think
have
so Madhav Das Prabhu want to say
Madhav
something.
Das, yeah.
Sorry?
Yes,
Das?
Madhav Das Prabhu, would you like to say something?
Yes, greeting to all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All
I will
glories to
request to all the devotees, sorry Prabhu, interrupting. All the devotees, this is the Maharaj class. Please to come to the camera and you ask the valuable question. Otherwise, Maharaj don't know that to whom I speak. So please to respect and come to the camera and you ask your valuable question. Then Maharaj can understand that whatever he gave the presentation, otherwise you don't understand to whom shall I speak or not. So please, if you possible, then come to the camera. Yes, Prabhu, Madhav Das Prabhu.
Yes, please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet. And thank you, Vesval Namata, for facilitating this program. Yes, Maharaj, thank you for your presentation. One question with regards to Mother Sati. She acted in anger when her husband, Lord Shiva, as you mentioned, the greatest Vaishnava, was insulted by her father, Daksha. Now, she obviously, in anger, she took her own life. Did she act prematurely, very hastily? How can we understand? Because what has transpired after that is that a whole tradition has been given rise to where people are committing suicide, especially the females are committing suicide.
No, it is not clear. Can you repeat again? I am not getting your voice is not coming clear to me.
Please too, can you Prabhu speak slowly? Then Maharaj can easily catch up.
It is not clear to me.
As I was saying, Mother Sati, she immolated herself in the fire when her husband, Lord Shiva, was insulted by her father, Daksha. Now, she acted
Sati,
in anger
okay.
but
Yes.
do you think, she acted very prematurely or immaturely? Because what has transpired after that is given rise to a whole generation where people are committing suicide, especially the females.
See, why she got angry? That's the proposal. Because Daksha Prajapati was blaspheming Lord Shiva, the great Vaishnava. When Daksha Prajapati was ignoring Sati, she didn't get angry. Okay, feels bad, but didn't get angry. But when he was blaspheming her husband and a Vaishnava, she could not tolerate it. Then she showed anger. If anyone committing offense against a Vaishnava, nobody will forgive him. The consequences, what happened is that is the consequences of offending or blaspheming a Vaishnava. They have to face. Everyone, the great sage of Bhruva and all those great sages who were there in the assembly, they all blasphemed Lord Shiva. So anyone who blasphemed, they have to face the consequences. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, blasphemy of the Vaishnava is very dangerous. Then no one can be better Vaishnava than Lord Shiva. We are all trying to become Vaishnava, not that we are not Vaishnava at all. We don't have even the 5% quality of Vaishnava. We are trying to become Vaishnava. But whereas Lord Shiva is the born Vaishnava. Vaishnavana and Yathashambhu. So that's why her anger cannot be taken as a circumstantial. It is a proper way to show her anger when one blasphemes the Lord or the pure Vaishnavas or pure devotees of the Lord. Okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, she could have done something else. Why did she have to kill herself?
What else is required? Then nothing else she can, because she heard the blasphemy, she had to leave her body. And Narada Maharishi said that if you are not capable of killing the one who is blaspheming, you jump into the river and die. So she cannot kill her father. That is offense. So she died herself. She could not tolerate that blasphemy and died herself. Self-immolation. There is no other better way. Other way, any better way means you are forgiving the offender.
Okay, I understand the point now. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is there any more questions from anyone? Maharaj, there is a comment from Gaurav Premi Devi Dasi. Maharaj, Mataji said, really wonderful program today. Maharaj is so learned and insightful. Thank you so much to Gaurav Premi Dasi. Mataji had to leave a bit early. She had a meeting. And also, his great Sankashan Das said, thank you so much to Maharaj for the class.
Sorry?
Sankashan Das said, thank you so much for the class, as a comment. And Gaurav Premi Mataji said, thank you so much. Very learned and insightful, Maharaj's. The two comments. Does anyone want to share any comments? Or Maharaj, we have also Ravendra Chauhan. Last time you greeted Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Ravendra Prabhu. Welcome. You can please greet Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, how are you, Prabhu?
Fine, Maharaj. How are you?
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Are you keeping well?
Yes.
Oh, good. Nice to see you after a long time.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Thank you so much. Mataji, also, Prabhu, also Bhaktan Kujurapov from Romania. Hare Krishna. Mataji, please greet Maharaj. Maharaj.
Hare
Mataji is
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All
Hare
glories to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. I am very thankful and grateful for your wonderful class, and I concluded we must be tolerant, and after, like the second steps, will come sure forgiveness. And this is very nice for us to know.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare.
Maharaj, thank you so much. Sankashan Das, would you like to share any comments or questions, Prabhu? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much. I really learned a lot, especially with Madhava Prabhu's question. It shows that if we can't really do anything about it, then if we can't walk away, then what Mother Sati did was the right thing. And yeah, we'll have to practice a little more to be tolerant, and we'll surrender to you, and hopefully you can teach us how to do that. Because currently things in this world, they always upset us, get us angry. So hopefully by taking shelter of you, we can get that mercy from you to be tolerant. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much for everything.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so is there any other comments or questions from anyone before we close off with some kirtan with some Maharaj? Hare Krishna, welcome to Madhumati Devi Dasi. Mataji, Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare Guru Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Much. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Sharina Lakhan Mataji. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Vrajeshwari Devi Dasi Mataji. Thank you so much for joining us. So there's no more comments or questions, Maharaj. If you don't mind, if you can please end off with some kirtan. If there's no other comments or questions, if you can please end off with some kirtan.
Yeah, you can do the kirtan. Huh?
The kirtan, no, Maharaj, we like you to sing if you don't mind. You can purify us, you know. As Sankashan Das said, we must surrender to you. We want to surrender to your kirtan. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, Maharaj. We hope to have you again on our program.
So, okay, 5 minutes kirtan.
Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Please accept humble with all glory to your part. Maharaj, please forgive us for any offenses that we have caused.
So no,
and to all the devotees, thank you.
No offenses.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Madhumati Mataji, you are from Nagpur? Same
No,
Mataji?
Maharaj. No, Maharaj. I'm two sister from Kenya.
Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. That's Madhumati.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Maharaj.
Butter sister. Now I.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Prabhupada ki jai. So how is your brother? Is okay? Madhumati, Mataji.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. By your mercy and blessings, they are surviving.
Surviving.
Yeah, new place, na. So
But it is good place.
I.
Good devotees. Very many Gujarati devotees are very favorable to ISKCON. He will become successful. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow. You
Bhakti
have
everywhere
said
becomes
has to
he becomes
fulfill.
successful. Bhakti. He can make friends.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank
Okay,
you for.
Paramananda Prabhu, Paramatma Prabhu.
Maharaj, thank you so much. Maharaj, Madhumati Mataji requested to know more about your programs. Is there any weekly programs, Madhumati Mataji? She asked when is your next program? She wants to join your other programs. If you can notify us, you know, when is your programs that we can advertise for you, you know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, Maharaj, since
Mostly
you don't know.
I don't have any.
Okay, if there is any program, you can let us know and we'll give the message to Madhumati.
Sure.
Madhumati Devidasi would like to join. Yeah, thank you so much, Ji. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Maharaj, we can end now. Thank you so much. Any more questions or comments from anybody before we close off? So Maharaj, where are you at the moment? If you don't mind us asking, at the moment, where are you staying now?
Huh?
No, so where are you staying at the moment? If you,
Me?
so where are you staying?
I'm in Tirupati.
Yeah. Tirupati. Oh, okay. Is it nice there? Is it all safe? Are you all safe?
I was supposed to go to Kerala for the Panchakarma treatment. Because of the COVID, I canceled my program. I said, better stay in one place. So I'm staying at the lotus feet of Balaji. Tirupati.
Wow, that's so nice. So thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare
Our
Krishna.
temple is very near the feet of the Balaji. So every day I see in the morning the 7 hills of Balaji.
Oh, Maharaj, if you don't mind, you can give us a class next time about Balaji. I know Sankashan Das gave us a class once about Balaji. If you can also continue, give us a class on Balaji next time. Is that okay for you?
Okay. To gather some material.
Yes, when you're ready, Maharaj, give us a date.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Accept Mahabali Bisa, God is Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Srila Prabhupada. So we leave the meeting?
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, everyone.